The Nobel Assembly at Karolinska Institutet has today decided to award the Nobel Prize to Harald Hausen for his discovery of human papilloma viruses causing cervical cancer.
It could be extremely important if there would be a global application of the vaccine and if the respective age groups prior to the onset of sexual activity would become vaccinated, girls and boys. The boys are clearly active transmitters of the virus, and at present there are only a few countries where the rate is very satisfying. I do not know the rate for Spain at the moment, but in Germany it's about 40%. Australia it's 80%, in Britain too, and a couple of other countries also relatively high. So if we wish to achieve global control of cervical cancer, then we have to increase those types of rates. But we really have a realistic chance to avoid this cancer to a large degree, hopefully in the future even completely. Well, the reason is that the males don't get cervical cancer, but nevertheless, it's one main reason is to protect the partners for developing this cancer, but there are also a few kinds of tumors which are linked to these types of infections, like genital warts, which are linked to HPV 6 and 11, which are clearly the agents causing genital warts. And which is present in one of the vaccines. The antigens of one of those two agents are present in one of the vaccines. But there are also cancers in males which occur even at a higher rate in males than in females, like oropharyngeal cancers, where right now there's an increasing number of those types of cancers positive for the same viruses as in cervical cancer. And also anal cancers occur in males usually more frequently than in females. So even for those reasons, it would be worthwhile to vaccinate males as well. The vaccine is composed of the outer shell of the virus particle, of the proteins of the viral particles. Now, if once the cell became infected, it may harbor the genome of the respective agent, but it does not express this type of protein. And so it's not recognizable for the immune system, even after vaccination. And so for those reasons, we have to aim at the very early phase of life, prior to the onset of sexual activity. In my opinion, the best age would be probably 9 to 14 years of age, for males and females. Well, such vaccines are in preparation right now, and even in clinical trials. There are vaccines right now, as far as I understand it, in clinical trials which contain 9 different types of high-risk papillomavirus types. And they protect probably even slightly more than 90%, should protect against slightly more than 90% of cervical cancers. But I would be very skeptical if some people recommend to wait until such vaccines become available, because you can calculate it, at least in countries with a high risk for cervical cancer development, how many of those women will develop the disease and how many of those will eventually die of the disease. So I would recommend, at least for those who are in the right age group, to become vaccinated. It would be not a major problem to vaccinate later with one shot of, let's say, of a vaccine which contains 9 different types and would provide a broader protection. But it should be done now, and it should be done quickly, and it should be done globally. Probably yes, probably it will work out well. I think the preliminary studies which have been conducted so far seem to suggest that you can do it with 9 types, and you would still achieve a reasonable type of vaccination. But I do not have the information on the whole studies which have been conducted, so they should come out in the very near future. Yes, it would be possible. Here we have a good chance even to eradicate this virus completely if we globally apply the vaccines and if they apply to a large percentage of the eligible population. So, but this would require a worldwide effort, and it would require indeed a strong support by the World Health Organization and by the local governments. I think, unfortunately, we are still far off from this goal, and much more needs to be done. We need to have a more active advocacy for the vaccination among health officials and also among physicians, because in my opinion the physicians themselves do not do enough to promote this vaccination.